Good evening. My name is Kim Jacobson. I'm the Director of Trail County Social Services, and with me tonight I have Pamela Nelson, who's our lead eligibility worker. And we're going to visit a little bit about Medicaid expansion, which is another piece of the reform that's happening with our health care programs. A little bit about what is Medicaid expansion. It's actually a piece of the health care picture, and it works alongside with the Affordable Care Act. So it's just a piece of the puzzle and how it all fits together. Medicaid expansion was provided as an option to the states. Not every state opted to expand Medicaid, but North Dakota chose to. And this was done through the 2013 legislative session, and they approved North Dakota's participation in Medicaid expansion and funded state dollars to help assist with the costs associated with that. In essence, Medicaid expansion will open the doors for low-income individuals, and it will link our participation back with the American Recovery Act. A little bit about our Medicaid program. The expansion will provide coverage for more North Dakotans. It's anticipated between 20,000 and 30,000 more individuals will be eligible for Medicaid due to the expansion provision. Our Medicaid program has changed due to Medicaid expansion, and we encourage, if you've applied before for Medicaid and have been denied, we encourage you to apply again, because there's a lot of different provisions that are now part of the program, and you may qualify. Medicaid expansion now will cover low-income adults under 65. For many years, there was a category of individuals that we were not able to serve, and that was a category called childless adults. So it was any individual between age 18 and 64 who did not have children in their household. If they had zero income and zero assets, we were still unable to assist them because they did not have children in their household. Now, under Medicaid expansion, that population of individuals without minor children in their home, if they're income eligible, we will be able to serve them under the Medicaid expansion provision. So in essence, we'll be operating two Medicaid programs. One will be our traditional Medicaid, and the other one will be our Medicaid expansion group. And they are different, so we'll talk a little bit about that tonight. We do have income guidelines, of course, with Medicaid and with Medicaid expansion. And with Medicaid expansion, we'll be looking at something called MAGI. And that means modified adjusted gross income. And so that is basically a measurement that is used using a household's taxable income. And that will be used to determine the eligibility for the expansion. One interesting thing is that we will not be looking at assets or other resources for the expansion population. However, with our traditional Medicaid program, we will look at assets. And so there will be different ways that we look at income for the traditional Medicaid program as well as the Medicaid expansion. We've probably already taken a little look at this already tonight, but as far as the income limits for Medicaid expansion, we look at taxable income. So using the same family of four scenario, a family of four can make up to $32,499 a year in taxable income and be eligible for Medicaid expansion. When we look at income when applying for Medicaid expansion, we look at income from employment and from jobs. We also look at Social Security payments, self-employment, including farm income, and we look at that after depreciation and after the capital loss deductions have been made. Some things that we do not consider are child support that's received, scholarships, fellowship grants, and American Indian distributions. So those are not considered as income under Medicaid expansion. Our expansion coverage will not be the same as our traditional Medicaid coverage. The traditional Medicaid coverage will continue for the group that we consider to be aged, blind, and disabled. And all others will be moved to the Medicaid expansion group eventually. Our Medicaid expansion policy will also be different than our traditional Medicaid policy, Under the expansion, it will be part of a managed care policy. And so that will operate much the same as the essential healthcare plan that you would purchase from a private insurance. It provides some core services that are defined as a minimum standard of coverage.